Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Groundwork Ohio's weekly morning meeting. If you do not recognize me, and you're expecting our Vice President Brittany Bolton, surprise, you get me today. I am Jacob Oates, Director of Programming and Impact here at Groundwork Ohio. And before we jump into our guest speaker today and our guest speakers today and their content. I just want to give a quick general update as we do here in the morning during our morning meetings. So uh, we have now entered the longest federal government shutdown in history. So the effects of these disruptions are being felt directly by families and the programs that exist to support them. Here's what we know of right now. SNAP has entered its second month without full federal funding. After a court order last week, the U.S. Department of Agriculture announced it would use about $4.65 billion from a contingency fund to issue partial November benefits, roughly half of what families normally receive. This decision has faced administrative delays and legal challenges. Um, to support food access, our Governor DeWine also signed an executive order to assist. This executive order directs the Ohio Department of Job and Family Services to provide up to $7 million in TANF funding to the regional food banks to assist in mitigating food insecurity, and authorizes temporary relief payments under TANF to some individuals at or below 50% of the federal poverty level. It is estimated that these emergency relief benefits will go to more than 63,000 Ohioans, including more than 57,000 children. As far as WIC goes, administrative supports to maintain operation of WIC clinics continue thanks to a one-time $450 million emergency transfer made just before November 1st. As the shutdown continues and as families spend down their benefits, it is possible that benefit funds for families could run out sometime this month. Head Start and early child care or childhood programs. We continue to be concerned about the 7 Ohio Head Start programs at imminent risk of furloughs and temporary closures. As of last night, Head Start programs in Highland and Scioto counties have closed, having exhausted their funding. The remaining 5 programs are operating on donations, community support, and organizational reserves that are buying limited time with scarce resources. Head Start agencies in Coshocton and Allen counties are scheduled to temporarily close in 2 weeks without congressional action. State House updates, House Bill 484, to create Workforce Investment Now Child Care pilot program was up for proponent testimony this week in House Children and Human Services Committee and received no opponent testimony submissions. This bill would create categorical eligibility for publicly funded childcare for childcare workers. This bill has a companion bill in the Senate, Senate Bill 177, but has not yet been up for public testimony. Lastly, I wanted to remind everybody that our state legislature will adjourn for the rest of the year on either November 19th or November 20th. That being said, with all those updates out of the way, I want to leave plenty of time for our esteemed guests today. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce them. Dr. Janeece Warfield is a clinical professor emeritus at Wright State University's School of Professional Psychology, a clinical psychologist specializing in pediatric psychology. She completed her fellowship at Georgetown University's University Hospital's Child Development Center. She currently serves as project director at Wright State's Moms to Be program, which provides psychoeducation to pregnant mothers to support healthy deliveries and reduce infant mortality. Dr. Warfield's expertise includes therapeutic interventions and assessment with infants and children with clinical interest in play therapy, multicultural diversity training, neurodevelopmental disorders, violence prevention, and trauma. She is an active member of the American Psychological Association, the Association of Black Psychologists, and several professional boards, such as the Association of Infant Mental Health Ohio. Additionally, Nina Raines is the program manager for Moms to Be in Montgomery County, a psychoeducational program designed to empower women to deliver healthy, full-term babies. She holds a Master of Business Administration and is an Ohio certified prevention specialist. Previously, Nina has worked in preventing youth substance misuse and educating on children's mental health and suicide prevention. Nina is currently pursuing her Master of Applied Social Work, continuing her commitment to empowering communities through education, prevention, and compassionate care. As a mother of 4 and a grandmother of 1, she is passionate about helping children and families thrive. So thank you again, Dr. Warfield. I don't know if Nina has made it on yet. I know that the most recent update was that she was in traffic, so we're monitoring that and hoping that she's able to safely get to her destination and join us. But if that's not the case, Dr. Warfield will be running this presentation, so feel free to go ahead and get started.
All right. Well, good morning, everyone. And again, Nina sends her apologies, but unfortunately, we just have no control over traffic at this time. And it was actually delays when I was coming in as well. So we come from opposite ends of the community. But in any event, I am happy to be with you today. And I want to thank Groundwork for inviting us. We can go ahead to the next slide. What I plan to do this morning is just to give you a little bit of an overview of Moms to Be. And just to start with a little bit of the history, Moms to Be is actually an expansion program out of Ohio State's Moms to Be. The original Moms to Be program was created by Twinkle Shockey and Dr. Patricia Gaby. And it was through Governor DeWine's initiative that he wanted to expand programs that prevented infant mortality, that we had the opportunity to actually then be a participant and to take on the program here in Montgomery County. We established a partnership in January of 2020 with Ohio State, and then worked for building our staff, and then opened our doors January 2023. And we're currently funded by the Omega CDC's preschool, or excuse me, not preschool, but Promise Neighborhood Grant. And so that is something that has provided funding for the program for the last 3 years. The last 2 years of the program are fiscal years 26 and 27. We are in the process of hoping to continue to secure funding so our program can last. You can go ahead to the next slide. We're designed after the model of Ohio State's program. And what we're wanting to do then is to really empower women to deliver full-term healthy babies. And in doing that, we want to provide them with psychoeducation around things like breastfeeding, safe sleep patterns, helping them to understand things about just, again, breastfeeding and the importance of that. We're wanting to reduce those low birth weights through that education. And by doing that, we hope to also then reduce infant mortality. Our program serves not only moms, but it also serves dads that are affiliated with the moms. And so we have like a compadre of, again, services that we provide then for both moms and for the fathers. And we're hoping to eliminate racial and economic disparities in infant mortality. And then the other thing about our program that's a little bit different from the Ohio State's model is that we then want to train students on interdisciplinary models to care for women and at-risk children and their families. And so again, that's a little bit about what we're doing and how our program is designed. And actually, Nina just made it in from traffic, so she will be joining us, but I will continue on. So this is Nina Raines, and once you see her, right, we can go to the next slide. So the demographics of our Moms to Be mothers, at this time, we have received referrals from 599 mothers across Montgomery County. And our racial ethnic background really consists of mothers who are 80% Black, 18% white, and 22% other Latinx or Somali. We serve all mothers of Montgomery County, but in particular, the zip codes that we serve are 45405, 06, and 17. And again, 17 right now is one of the highest areas of infant mortality here in Montgomery County. Go to the next slide. Okay, I'll let Nina now, since she's here, she can take on by telling a little bit about who our staff is.
Yeah, so our staff, we are an interdisciplinary team of professionals that come together to provide this psychoeducation to the community. So we have Dr. Janeece Warfield. and you've told them about, your background. And I'm Nina Rains. I have my master's in business, and I'm also a certified prevention specialist. So I work with youth, and I'm getting my master's in social work. We have a project administrator who works for Wright State University as well. And then we contract out for our other professionals. So through Dayton Children's Hospital, we receive our nursing and lactation consultant, um, and that's Andrea. And our dietitian, Emmy, who is about to return from maternity leave for her first baby. And then we also have doctoral clinical student, Rita, and then we have a social work student as well. So our program is not just to support the women, but we also want to train up our future professionals. So we use Wright State University students to do that. And then we also partner with our funder, who is Omega CDC, and they attend our groups as well. And we have Elise, who is a community outreach coordinator, so a resource guru for our community. And then Janeece is our maternal and infant family coach, who is also a doula. And that's very important for our moms as well, to make sure that they have support in that space. And then we also have a fatherhood coach and a relationship coach, because you can't work with the mom and the baby without including dad. So we want to make sure that our program covers the entire family. All are welcome. All children that are in the family, dad is welcome. And in our community, one of the needs that is presented is the need for that support with relationships, whether it be they need to learn how to healthy co-parent, or they're in a relationship and they just need someone to help them through some of the relational challenges. And so that's why we have added that portion to our program.
Next slide.
And then a new thing that we started, I think about a year ago, we started having moms to be ambassadors. So think of this as moms to be peer support. So these are moms with lived experience, have gone through our program, but they reached graduation, which is their baby turned 1, and but they were so integral in our program and really wanted to continue to be a part of that. So we made them ambassadors. So now they're kind of the welcoming committee for new moms. Maybe these moms are really uncomfortable coming to a session for the first time. They can also share their experience as they had just recently gone through it. So maybe the information might hit a little bit differently hearing it from them rather than from us, where our children are older. And so that's why we created this ambassador program. And so as an ambassador, they would stay with us up until baby's 2nd birthday. But what has been really neat to see within our group is that a lot of women are coming to our program and they want to go into the community and give back. So they want to work in this infant and maternal space as well. So a lot of our ambassadors and moms have gone out into the community, and now they're working in the field as well and supporting pregnant women.
Next slide. Next slide.
Sorry. So yeah, we'll talk about the components. So this is the same model that is used at the OSU Moms to Be. We are going to provide group education. So we talk about health and nutrition. Actually, yesterday a couple of days ago, we were cooking carrots. And we were talking about kids being picky eaters, and we showed how many different ways that we can cook carrots, considering textures and things like that. And we talk about stress reduction, because obviously stress is the #1 factor that we are trying to impact, so that moms can have healthy pregnancies and deliver full term. And then we also, we have not just prenatal education, but we do have postpartum education. And then we also have kind of generalized education. A lot of our families are interested in learning how to get control of their finances. You know, they have limited income and they just don't really know how to budget. Dr. Warfield's daughter is a realtor, so she came in and spoke to our class about how to buy a home. Like, what are all the steps? What do you need to do? And after that lesson, one of our mothers who has 6 children went to the bank, found out she could buy a home, and she went and bought a home. So that's the kind of impact that we are trying to have on our community, help pull people out of their situations through our educational programs. So we're going to touch on whatever our community needs, and we want to listen to our moms. So when I'm scheduling a lesson, I want to make sure it's what they want to hear and us talk about. We also do invite community partners to come in. Just like I said, Dr. Warfield's daughter came. We have a local farmer who comes and talks to us about how to grow our own food. And then we also have like Help Me Grow and other organizations that come in and talk about their program so that it's always on the forefront of our families' minds that you are not doing this alone. We're doing this together. And there are resources that if you are met with these challenges, you don't have to stress alone. You know, you can go to these programs.
Next slide.
And so, yeah, we are grant funded, and so outcomes are very important. And that's my main focus here at Moms to Be. Yes. Oh, back it up.
Go back,
And
please.
so we will conduct in Edinburgh, as we have seen with the news. You know, it's unfortunate when postpartum depression progresses untreated. So we want to make sure that we are talking to our moms about this, and we're identifying any concerns that might be arising through that. So we have a schedule of providing an Edinburgh postpartum or postnatal depression scale. We will do it right before they deliver and after, and then we'll do it multiple times if their score is high. And then depending on their score, we would connect them to resources. We also have satisfaction surveys. So like I said, we want to hear from our families. What do they want to talk about? What information do they need to know? And so we have those weekly at our sessions. And then we also, you know, collect birth weight and where the zip codes that these moms are coming from. I would say a third of our moms are coming from those 3 zip codes, which are really hot here in Montgomery County. The 45417 zip code is over 18%. Per the last report from the health department. So that's incredibly concerning. These numbers for our Black community continue to go up despite our efforts. So we want to help. But our outcomes as we collect them, we're seeing moms who deliver preterm that are delivering full term. And so we see a lot of positive results from just being connected to our program.
Next slide.
And then we follow the philosophy of Twinkle Schottky. I love it. The CPR philosophy, being consistent, being predictable, and being reliable. So here is an actual picture of what it looks like at our Sister Circle session. We set our chairs up in a circle, but you can also be on the floor with your babies. So as they're developing, you can be down there playing with them, working with them. Staff members can get down on the floor and also play with the babies. But we're sitting there at being educated, and you see Dr. Warfield sitting in the back. She must be doing one of her Baby and Me songs where we're talking about movement, we're singing, and we're bonding with our babies. But yeah, we are going to be consistent and predictable. So if a mom were to get pregnant in 3 years, we want them to know that we will be in this space at this time on this day, and they can just walk right in. And so we want to be reliable. The purpose of this is multifaceted. So you want to do that as an example to your families, because you want your families to be consistent, predictable, and reliable for their kiddos. Next slide.
Okay, so we have a variety of different sessions, and I'm also being mindful of the time.
Yeah.
So if by chance we don't get to finish something, we will be glad for you to send these slides out, Mr. Oates. So we have a variety of session types. And so again, the sessions that you see right there on the screen, that is an example of our Sister Circle Large Group. Those are on Tuesdays from 5 to 7 p.m. and Thursdays from 11 to 1 p.m. So one of the things that we want to be mindful of is for those parents that are in or working or in school, that they have that opportunity to come then on Tuesday evenings. And then for our parents that aren't working, or maybe their schedules are different, they're able to come from that 11 to 1 time on Thursdays. This is where our interdisciplinary team comes together. So that's where we'll have our dietitian, our nurse, our fatherhood coach, our relationship coach, our students, all of us are there as a team. So whatever topic that we're talking about that day, everybody from their different disciplines can also give input, or again, our moms and our ambassadors can give input on those specific topics. And then we have Baby and Me, which is Tuesdays from 3 to 4. And that's a group where we're trying to, again, help to strengthen that parent-child bond or the parent-infant bond by teaching those moms different songs, activities. These sessions are also focused with specific topics. So maybe it's going to be a topic on language. And so at that time, we'll give a little bit of a didactic to let them know, how do we begin to try to help our little ones to start to develop language? We know it starts with cooing, and how do we imitate those sounds? And then we'll have different songs that help to facilitate that. And then we have our ROSE, which is Reach Out, Stay Strong Essentials, which is our mental health component, where we really are addressing those issues around postpartum depression. And in addition to looking at postpartum depression, we also take an interpersonal therapy model whereby we are also looking at helping moms to learn how to transition into motherhood, or we're helping them to learn how to manage relationships, multiple children. So those are the kinds of things that we do. And yes, as I said, these slides can be presented to you, so it's no problem. Mr. Oates will send that. Next slide. So again, this just gives you some information about Baby and Me. And so when the slides are presented, you'll have that information. But as I said, we're really just to try to educate the parents. Go to the next slide. Again, that just gives you a quick sample of the lesson topics. Next slide. And again, we want those sessions to also promote that CPR foundation. Our sessions for Baby and Me always have a clear beginning, a middle, and end. And one of the things we think is important is to help moms to learn how to develop a routine with their little ones. And so our lessons do the same thing. This again just gives you some background on the Reach Out, Stay Strong Essentials. And again, as I said, it's to prevent postpartum depression, but we also want to make sure that we're addressing all the different issues that moms may face while they're being a mom. So again, if there are relationship issues, we're going to talk about how do you communicate with your partner? How do you be assertive versus aggressive? So there's a variety of different things that we do. Next slide. And that's just some samples of the sessions that we do. Next slide. I'll let Nina finish up.
And so again, we involve community partners. One of them was a yoga studio. So we did mom and baby yoga to teach them how to move. And it's also another way to bond with your children. We do have events with our couples. One is going to come up where they can just have like a date night. So kids not supposed to come, but it's a good way for families to have fun and kind of remember, about their relationship as they're parenting. And, then we had a paint party. So just a lot of different things that we like to do here. So it's not just all education, but there's always like an educational component. Next slide. And then the next slide. And so in order to be part of our program, there are 2 requirements. The mom must be pregnant and she must reside in a zip code in Montgomery County. That's it. It doesn't matter what insurance, because we don't bill. It doesn't matter what their socioeconomic status is. It doesn't matter. We just want to make sure they're pregnant, because that is the goal of our program, is to impact that pregnancy. And it can be anytime during their pregnancy. So next slide. And then a mom wants to get in contact with me, we do have a referral sheet, but if I have a name and a phone number, sometimes that's all I get, and that's all I need to reach out to a mom and get them connected to our program. Next slide.
And so one of the questions was, is this program in Franklin County? Yes, it is. So you can actually go online and you'll be able just to put in OSU Moms to Be, and that's how you'll be able to see where the various sessions in Franklin County are. But we're specifically here in Montgomery County.
Yeah, and so as far as Moms to Be, there are only 2 counties, and we do only serve as a county. So there's Franklin County, which is the original Moms to Be, and then there is Moms to Be for Montgomery County.
Great, awesome. Thank you both so much for sharing today. I think there's a lot of love in the chat as well. I'm not seeing any questions in the chat. I do have one question real quick. What specific challenges around maternal and infant health are most pressing in the communities you serve? And you mentioned it a little bit specifically in Montgomery County, but yeah, if you could answer, if you could provide a little bit more.
Well, I would say funding is the most challenging right now, funding just to make sure that we can keep these programs going.
Transportation sometimes is also another. We partner with CareSource, so they are working with us so that they're able to provide transportation for our moms. But if moms don't have CareSource insurance, sometimes transportation, mental health services, whereby we actually have psychologists or counselors who actually know how to deal with mothers who have issues around postpartum. That would be another big need that I see that continues to be something in the community. And then housing sometimes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Sorry, go ahead.
It says, do we partner with Dads to Be? So we have our own Dads to Be program in reference to our fatherhood coach. Originally, we did have a relationship with Dads to Be, but there were just some things that were some differences. And so we have our own fatherhood initiative. But Dads to Be does exist with Moms to Be in Franklin County.
Is there anybody else who has any questions for both of our guests today? Feel free to come off mute if you do. Give it a couple more seconds.
Hi, my name is Farheen Kapra. I work as a trainer, a resilience trainer and coach at an initiative called the Building Better Lives, which is an initiative of Franklin County Family and Children First Council. As part of my work, I do have a working relationship with Moms to Be here in Franklin County and have done some work in the past with them. I was just wondering, because we specifically do trainings and coachings, trainings and coaching to the staff that work in initiatives that do the heavy lifting sort of work, and I directly work with families, with moms, with parents. I was just wondering if we wanted to reach out to your Moms to Be program, what would be a good way of doing that? Would you be able to point the person, or if either of you are the people that need to be contacted, if you could please share your contact details.
Exactly. So on the slideshow, you'll have Nina's contact information. My contact information is just my first name dot last name at wright.edu. So that's how you can get both of us, through our first and last name at wright.edu.
Okay.
Nina, as my program manager, she will be the one that, again, you can make the direct contact with, and she'll speak to me, and we'll work together to say, yes, we would love to have some kind of partnership. So feel free to reach out to us.
Thank you. Excellent. That's great. And you have already said that we'll be given the slide deck, and you're saying that your contact details, Nina's contact details are there. So I'll wait for that slide deck. Thank you very much. This was really enjoyable.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your question. I just wanted to point to the chat. I think someone from my team has shared the slide deck in the chat. Additionally, we can share Moms to Be's website, so you can find more information there as well. Perfect. There it is. Any other questions?
Well, thank you again for this opportunity. We appreciate coming to speak with you today, and may our moms continue to be able to thrive, and especially in these difficult times right now. So they need all the resources and support that they can get. So thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you both for joining us today. Before we wrap up, I wanted to quickly allow us to plug our active action alert to end the shutdown. So my team will put that in there. Feel free to fill that out, and everyone have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Thank you.